My dear brothers and sisters, today I stand before you with a simple yet powerful message. Age is just a number. It does not define our worth, limit our dreams, or dictate our potential. Too often we hear whispers that certain ages are too young to start or too old to continue. We are told that youth equals inexperience and that aging means decline. But let me tell you something. Neither of these are true. Age is not a barrier. It is a badge of honor. It means you have lived, you have learned, and you have loved. It means you have gathered wisdom that no textbook can teach, and resilience that no classroom can offer. One remarkable woman once said, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them." And that applies to age as well. Do not let a number reduce your ambitions, your passions, or your purpose. Think of the dreamers who started late but soared high, the pioneers who refused to retire their visions, and the change makers who never let the world tell them their time had passed. Their stories remind us that the fire within us does not dim with age. It only burns brighter with experience. From the moment we are born, society begins to place expectations on us based on our age. As children, we are told we are too young to understand certain things. As teenagers, we are often dismissed as inexperienced. And as we grow older, many believe that our best years are behind us, that we should step aside and make way for the younger generation. But let me ask you this. When did a number ever determine what a person is truly capable of? Age is merely a marker of time. It does not measure intelligence, ambition, creativity, or resilience. A person's true potential is not dictated by how many birthdays they have celebrated, but by their willingness to learn, grow, and push past limitations. History has shown us time and time again that capability is not bound by age. Some of the greatest innovators, leaders, and creators in the world reached their peak long after others assumed their time had passed. A woman once published her first novel at the age of 42, only to go on to become one of the most celebrated poets and storytellers in history. A man once started a fast food empire in his 60s after spending decades struggling in different jobs. And a young girl, no older than a teenager, once stood before the world and demanded change, proving that wisdom and courage are not reserved for those with decades of experience. If these stories teach us anything, it is that the ability to dream, achieve, and make a difference has nothing to do with age. What matters is determination, perseverance, and the refusal to be boxed in by societal expectations. Yet, despite these countless examples, many still allow age to hold them back. Some believe they are too young to be taken seriously, so they hesitate to voice their ideas. Others think they are too old to start something new, so they let their dreams fade away. But the truth is, capability is not about when you start. It's about how much heart and effort you put into what you do. Every stage of life presents new opportunities to learn and grow. A young person may lack years of experience, but can bring fresh perspectives, creativity, and energy to the table. An older individual may not be as quick as they once were, but they carry with them knowledge, wisdom, and the ability to navigate challenges with clarity. Both are valuable. Both have something to offer. So whether you are 16 or 60, know this. Your capabilities are defined not by your age, but by your willingness to believe in yourself, step forward, and take action. The only thing that truly limits us is the belief that we are limited. Age is just a number. Capability is limitless. And as long as you have a mind that dreams and a heart that beats with purpose, you are capable of achieving greatness at any point in your life. Learning does not end when we graduate from school, receive a degree, or land a job. Growth is not something reserved for the young. In reality, learning and personal development are lifelong journeys, paths that we travel from the moment we take our first steps until our final days. Yet too often people believe that after a certain age they are too old to learn something new. Society sometimes reinforces the idea that education belongs to the youth, that careers should be chosen early, and that by middle age we should have everything figured out. But life doesn't work that way. Growth is not a phase of life, it is the essence of life itself. Every day presents an opportunity to learn, to evolve, and to expand our minds. Some of the greatest thinkers and visionaries in history never stopped seeking knowledge. They understood that curiosity has no expiration date, and that wisdom is not something we acquire once and for all. It is something we continue to cultivate. Think about the world we live in today. Technology, science, and industries are constantly evolving. If we were to stop learning at a certain age, we would be left behind. The most successful and fulfilled people are those who embrace change, who adapt, and who remain open to new ideas no matter their age. A person in their 20s may still be learning about the world, exploring possibilities, and figuring out their strengths. But a person in their 50s, 60s, or even 70s has just as much to discover. New skills, new careers, new passions, and new ways of thinking. Learning to play an instrument, mastering a language, starting a business, or even developing emotional intelligence. These are things that can be pursued at any stage of life. There are countless stories of people who refuse to let age dictate their ability to grow. A woman once earned her college degree at 90 years old, proving that it's never too late to pursue education. A man in his 50s switched careers and became an artist after spending decades in an office job. Another individual in their 70s learned to code and launched a successful tech project. These people are proof that the mind remains capable, sharp, and full of potential, as long as we nourish it with knowledge and experience. Growth is not just about intellectual learning, it is also about emotional and personal development. We continue to learn from the people around us, from our experiences, and even from our failures. The more we open ourselves to new ideas, the more we enrich our lives. The secret to lifelong learning and growth is curiosity. The moment we stop being curious, we stop truly living. The moment we believe we know enough, we limit ourselves. But when we approach life with the mindset that there is always something new to explore, we remain engaged, energized, and full of purpose. So, no matter your age, ask yourself, what is something new I can learn today? How can I grow into the best version of myself? Because as long as you are learning, you are living, and as long as you are growing, you are thriving. In a world that often values youth and speed, we sometimes forget one of the most powerful assets a person can have: experience. Age may mark the number of years we have lived, but experience measures the depth of what we have learned, the challenges we have overcome, and the wisdom we have gained along the way. Society has a tendency to glorify the new and the young, assuming that fresh ideas only come from those who are just starting their journey. But innovation, success, and impact are not solely the domain of the young. They belong to those who have lived, learned, and persevered. Age is just a number, But experience is a treasure trove of insight that cannot be bought, rushed, or faked. When we embrace experience over age, we shift our perspective. Instead of seeing age as a limitation, we recognize it as a source of strength. Every year lived is a lesson learned. Every challenge faced is a skill sharpened. Every success and failure contributes to a deeper understanding of life, people, and possibilities. Think of the wisdom that comes with time. A young entrepreneur may have fresh energy and ideas, but an experienced business leader has the knowledge of past mistakes, the foresight to navigate obstacles, and the patience to endure hardships. A new artist may bring bold creativity, but an experienced one understands the evolution of art, the power of storytelling, and the emotions that connect generations. A young athlete may have raw talent, but a seasoned competitor understands strategy, endurance, and mental resilience. The world has seen countless examples of people who thrived because of their experience, not in spite of their age. A woman once published her first book in her 40s, only to become one of the most beloved literary voices of all time. A man in his 60s built a global fast food empire after spending years failing in various businesses. Another individual, well past what society considers prime years, went back to school, earning a degree at an age when many assume learning is no longer an option. These stories remind us that experience is not a burden, it is a gift. Yet despite these examples, many people still let age overshadow their experience. Some believe that once they reach a certain point, they are too old to start anew. Others allow younger generations to take the lead without realizing the immense value they still hold. But here's the truth. Your experience is your power. It equips you with knowledge that cannot be taught in books or classrooms. It gives you the ability to see patterns, predict outcomes, and handle situations with wisdom and grace. We must stop measuring people by the number of years they have lived and start valuing them for the depth of their experiences. We must reject the idea that certain opportunities belong only to certain age groups. Instead, we should embrace the belief that every person at every stage of life has something valuable to offer. So whether you are young and just beginning your journey, or seasoned with years of experience, know this: your worth is not defined by how many candles are on your birthday cake. Your worth is defined by what you have learned, how you have grown, and how you use your experience to make a difference. Do not let age limit your dreams. Do not let numbers define your worth. Embrace your experience, trust your wisdom, and step forward with confidence, because what you have lived through has prepared you for greatness. From the moment we are born, society places expectations on us based on our age. Children are expected to be curious but not wise. Teenagers are seen as reckless but not responsible. Adults are pressured to have their lives figured out by a certain age. And as people grow older, they are often told to slow down, to step aside, and to accept that their best years are behind them. But who made these rules? Who decided that we must live according to a timeline that someone else created? Stereotypes about age are among the most limiting forces in our society. They tell the young that they are inexperienced and unqualified, even when they have great ideas and talents. They tell the elderly that their contributions are no longer valuable, even when they possess wisdom that can change the world. These stereotypes are not only false, but they rob people of their potential. They create invisible walls that separate generations instead of bringing them together. History has shown us that those who defy age-based expectations are the ones who make the greatest impact. Some of the most brilliant leaders, inventors, and artists began their journeys when they were told they were too young or too old to succeed. A girl once stood in front of world leaders and demanded action on climate change, proving that wisdom does not come with age, but with courage and conviction. A man in his 60s started a global business empire after years of struggle, proving that success does not have an expiration date. A woman, after raising a family, picked up a pen and became a best-selling author in her later years, showing that creativity knows no age limit. Yet despite these stories, the world continues to enforce outdated beliefs about what we should and shouldn't do at certain ages. Young people are often told to wait their turn, as if ambition should be put on hold. Older individuals are advised to retire their dreams, as if passion has a time limit. But the truth is, greatness belongs to those who refuse to be placed inside a box. Defying stereotypes requires confidence, requires the courage to say, I am more than my age. I am more than society's expectations. I am capable, I am strong, and I will not be limited by what others think I should or shouldn't do. Think about the countless people who broke the mold and achieved greatness. Scientists who made groundbreaking discoveries in their 80s age. Musicians who composed masterpieces well into old age. Entrepreneurs who built empires in their 50s and 60s. And young visionaries who changed the world before they even reached adulthood. These people refused to accept the labels that society placed on them. They knew that ability, intelligence, and passion are not dictated by age. They are driven by determination. So I ask you today, what stereotypes about age have you been told? And more importantly, will you allow them to define you? Will you hold yourself back because someone says you're too young to be taken seriously? Will you abandon your dreams because the world tells you you're too old to start over? Or will you defy expectations, break down barriers, and prove that age is just a number? The choice is yours. But remember this. The most extraordinary people in history are the ones who refuse to let others define what they could or could not do. So be bold, be fearless, defy expectations, challenge stereotypes, and show the world that your potential has no limits. Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and unexpected setbacks. No matter who you are or what stage of life you are in, you will face moments of doubt, failure, and difficulty. But what separates those who succeed from those who give up is not luck, talent, or even intelligence. It is resilience and confidence. These two qualities are the driving forces behind greatness. They are the foundation upon which people overcome adversity, defy expectations, and achieve what others thought was impossible. Resilience is the power to keep going even when everything seems to be against you. It is the ability to take life's hardest blows and stand back up, stronger and wiser than before. No one reaches success without facing failure. No one finds happiness without enduring hardship. The most accomplished people in the world did not have easy journeys. They had resilience. Think about the inventors, entrepreneurs, and leaders who changed history. Many of them failed not once, not twice, but dozens, sometimes hundreds of times before they finally succeeded. But they did not let failure define them. They used every setback as a lesson, every disappointment as fuel to push forward. They understood that success is not about never falling, it is about always getting back up. Life will always test us. There will be moments when we feel like giving up, when we think we are not good enough, strong enough, or young or old enough to achieve our dreams. But resilience reminds us that we are stronger than we think. It reminds us that every setback is temporary, every failure is a lesson, and every hardship is an opportunity to grow. Resilience alone is not enough. We must also believe in ourselves. Confidence is the force that keeps us moving forward when others doubt us. It is the voice inside us that says, I can do this. I am capable. I am worthy of success. Too often, people allow self-doubt to hold them back. They listen to the voices that tell them they are not smart enough, talented enough, or experienced enough. They let fear control them, convincing themselves that failure is too risky. But the truth is, the only way to truly fail is to never try. Confidence does not mean we will never experience fear or uncertainty. It means we refuse to let those feelings stop us. It means we trust our abilities even when others don't. It means we step forward even when the path ahead is unclear. Some of the most influential people in the world did not start out with confidence. They built it over time by taking risks, learning from failure, and proving to themselves that they were capable. Confidence is not something we are born with. It is something we develop by pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones and realizing our own strength. When resilience and confidence come together, they create unstoppable strength. Resilience keeps us going despite failure. Confidence gives us the courage to try in the first place. With these two qualities, we can break through any barrier, defy any expectation, and achieve greatness at any stage of life. It does not matter how old or young you are. What matters is your willingness to keep going and your belief in yourself. Age is just a number, but resilience and confidence are what truly define success. So the next time life knocks you down, remember, get back up. Keep believing in yourself. Keep moving forward, because as long as you have resilience and confidence, nothing can stop you. Throughout history, people have proven that success, achievement, and impact have no age limit. Some have made history in their youth, while others have reached their peak long after most would have considered their time over. These individuals remind us that greatness is not defined by a number, but by determination, passion, and perseverance. Too often, people limit themselves by believing they are too young to be taken seriously or too old to start something new. But the truth is, some of the world's most influential figures achieve success at all stages of life. Their stories are a testament to the fact that age should never be a barrier to dreams, goals, and personal fulfillment. There are countless examples of young people who refused to wait for the right age to make an impact. They saw problems, took action, and left their mark on history. Take Malala Yousafzai, who became a global advocate for girls' education in her teenage years, standing against injustice even when it put her life in danger. At just 17, she became the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize, proving that courage and wisdom are not limited to those with decades of experience. Consider Mozart, who composed music at the age of 5, or Greta Thunberg, who started a global climate movement before she even reached adulthood. These young individuals remind us that brilliance, talent, and leadership are not dictated by age. They are driven by passion and purpose. So many young people have defied expectations, proving that you don't have to wait for permission to chase your dreams. If you have a vision, an idea, or mission, start now. Your age does not define your ability to change the world. On the other end of the spectrum, many people have achieved their greatest successes later in life, proving that it is never too late to follow your dreams. One of the best examples is Colonel